Alright, I sacrifice my two creatures to tribute summon the Blue Eyes White Dragon. I know these should be in sleeves, but otherwise you could probably say that they're either Pokemon cards or Magic the Gathering, so yeah. Anyway, on to the review. Get hurt tonight. Should've got my ass back toy. Tribute Summon from Trust Fund Ozu. So, for those of you that don't know, Trust Fund Ozu is the brainchild of Faye fandom. Faye was the drummer for Thank You Scientist before kind of bowing out to pursue her own musical endeavors, and I am just so happy with all the music that Faye has been doing. I wanted to start 2022 off with an album review, like a new album review that was very special to me, and this is definitely the way that I wanted to start it all out. I'm still relatively new when it comes to the hyperpop genre of music, but Faye is kind of leading me by the nose through it, and I've just been enjoying the ride every single step of the way. And I love the way that this album is structured. You know, like there's only about 9 tracks across just under a half hour's worth of music. And I think this is the best way to present this type of music. And for any of you, those that don't know what hyperpop is all about, it's a very it's really hard to explain if I'm being honest. It's very fast, very hard-hitting, very intense use of very quick rhythm styles. It's almost like verging on dubstep, but if you took dubstep and like filled it with caffeine and then just cranked the energy up to 11 and didn't have quite as many drops, or if the drops were just the whole song, and all the vocals, or at least most of the vocals, are auto-tuned beyond almost recognition of a human voice. Like it's almost reaching that uncanny valley where it's like not quite a computer, but not quite human. Now with Trust Fund Ozu, it does have a very human touch to it though. Like I do see the real human soul that is being presented in all these tracks and in all of Trust Fund Ozu's and all of Faye's music. What I really enjoy is like the first 2 tracks of Busy Signal and Succubus do a really good job of introducing the album without just blowing down the doors on the first couple of tracks. You know, Busy Signal is a very brilliant and almost hauntingly beautiful opening to this album, and Succubus does a really great job of really capturing the attention and providing such a brilliant and catchy flow. Like I feel myself really digging into the actual track itself. Now, one of the other key features of hyperpop is really having a crystal clear statement. You know, like these guys aren't afraid of putting their opinions on their sleeves, and Tits of Glass really does that very, very well. It showcases some of Faye's struggles that she's had throughout her life, really kind of painting a clear picture of what it's like to be in Faye's shoes. You know, like at no point can I ever live the experience that she's had, but I definitely see myself in a lot of these tracks. That goes right into what my angel sees in me, and does a really good job of like almost painting this skeptical look on when others express affection for you. It has almost a cynical overtone to it, but it also has this very cleverly innocent aspect to it as well. And I really love the dichotomy between these two. Like, you know, when people make self-deprecating humor to kind of hide the fact that they are struggling, I feel like this song kind of does that, but in a bait and switch kind of a way. I don't know. I found it very, very engaging and brilliant the way that it was presented. Oh no! One of the only drawbacks of having silky smooth hair is that my hairband keeps falling back. Jeezers. Now, I'm not usually a big fan of diss tracks, but I feel like this diss track in particular holds a very special place in my heart. The J.K. Rowling diss track, aka The Little Mermaid, I think is such a brilliant, brilliant way to structure a track, you know, and really using the metaphor of The Little Mermaid, you know, selling the tail to the sea witch, 4 legs, but losing the voice. You know, such a brilliant metaphor for a lot of experiences that trans individuals are going through specifically now, and how somebody with a massive amount of power such as J.K. Rowling is using her power to just shit all over them, you know, and it's such a brilliant way of structuring it. You know, giving up a part of your own autonomy, or at least having the world at large view you as giving up a part of your autonomy to try to be more of who you are in the guise of Little Mermaid is just so brilliant. And I have to continuously clap my hands towards Faye for, you know, just realizing that. Then we come to one of the bigger tracks off this album of Peppermint, and we have a lot of really great guest appearances on there. Ben Levin from Bent Knee makes an appearance on here. You know, there's a lot of others from We Use the Cut Grass makes an appearance on this, and this one is one of the really big bopping tracks. It's very like grabs hold of you and doesn't really let you go. It almost takes your brain, puts it in a blender, and then puts it back in your skull after the whole endeavor. And you're just like, what on earth did I just listen to? The next two tracks of In Light of Recent Events and Poison Ivy are two of the smaller tracks on this album, just under 2 minutes in length, and they're fine. You know, they continue the mythos of what's been before them, and I'm loving the drive and the groove on both of these tracks. And the album finishes off with Our Winter, which also features Justin Cow on here, and it does a fantastic job of finishing off this album, tying everything together. And even though this album, as I mentioned, is less than a half hour long, you feel very fulfilled at the end. You know, you don't feel like this is an EP. You feel like this is a full-fledged, fully fleshed out album. And Our Winter does a great job of tying everything together without losing a beat. Tribute Summon from Trust Fund Ozo was a brilliant and fantastic time. I'm loving the messagings that are behind here. I'm loving the metaphors and the like meanings behind all these tracks. And I'm also digging the music. Like, I'm still very fresh to the whole hyper pop ideas on here, but I never feel like I'm a complete alien in this musical genre. I think that there's enough of a foundation on this album for me to really dive in and sink my teeth into it. And I've loved the time that I had. So yeah, I think in the end, I will say Tribute Summon from Trust Fund Ozu is one that I would absolutely pick up in physical format. And I hear that a vinyl's coming out very soon, so I'm excited to actually pick that up and put it in the big collection behind me. But yeah, that's about it from Tribute Summon. What did you guys think about this album? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I know it's very different for my usual clienteles out there, so if you've had a chance to listen to it, let me know of your own thoughts by commenting down below. And I think that's about it for right now. I think that's about it. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, you guys are definitely the best. And until next time, notes out.